This is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. You know, it hurts. It hurts me in more than one way. It does.
To be very honest with all of you, alright, Sunday was going to be basically the last major stream of Judgment as a main stream, 4+ hours, you know, depending on how it does. If people actually show up and watch and engage me and interact with me, and it ends up being a fun, cool stream, then I will continue to do Judgment as an earlier stream.
It's gross. It's for this. It's not because they love what they're doing. It's not because for the love of the game or because they're true gamers. It's for this. And this is what it's become. It's not about putting out a quality review. It's not about putting out a quality playthrough or quality stream. It's about making this.
However, the last time I did it on Wednesday, that was not the case. The stream basically slowed down to a crawl. People weren't even talking to me anymore. It basically became like the stream chat was slow. And I don't understand that because, sadly, I hate to say it, I really like the game. And I don't understand why it's not connecting or resonating with my audience. Because I really am liking Judgment. The plot is very interesting to me. And the fun kind of side content that's in the game is kind of entertaining. And I'm really having a lot of fun with the game. So I'm hoping that this will resonate on Sunday.
I can't wait for the money.
Everything helps, guys. Seriously, every contribution helps. However, truth of the matter is, you know, as I've been telling you guys the past couple of months, I'm in the worst situation financially I've ever been in. And right now, we are heading into the worst part of the month for me, the first 2 weeks, because this is a time when a lot of my bills are due, but I don't get paid by Twitch until the middle of the month. So I got paid by Twitch middle of June, and then finally I had a couple weeks of alleviation here, where I didn't have to constantly worry about money and stuff, which was great. But now, here it comes again, and at the beginning of the month, a ton of bills come due, and this is when it's the worst time of the month for me. Alright? So if you want to help out, the best way to contribute would be to tip me. Okay, Wolf Hydra says, what do you think about Twitch introducing subscriber-only streams? Do you think you'll be using that service? Well, here's the problem with that. Alright, much like when I was over on YouTube, and I was doing Patreon stuff for the very first time 4 years ago, people expressed interest and said, Phil, if I become a patron of yours, will you do exclusive videos on YouTube that will allow us to see stuff early? Like maybe do a special game review and release it 2 days early for the patrons. Do a DSP tries it and release it 2 days early for the patrons. And then later on make it public, right? So maybe there's an incentive to be a patron. You get to see Phil's content early. Problem with that was, at that time, and this was 4 years ago, my most hated detractors, they hate my guts. Alright, they hate me the most of everyone, said, well, we hate Phil so much, what we would do is one of us would pay to become a patron to get that exclusive access to that content, and we would illegally rip that content that he's putting up only for patrons and repost it all over YouTube.
Oh my god!
So that other people could see it. Effectively making this perk totally worthless because people would be able to see his content regardless, illegally everywhere. And we don't care about the fact that this breaks the law, and we don't care about the fact that, you know, this is immoral. We just want to hurt Phil, so this is what we're going to do. Okay? So at that time, and they said this publicly, by the way. This wasn't like, oh, we're hiding this fact. Publicly, this was said. This is back in the days of the SOK and everything. They said they were going to do this. So I said, well, what's the point? What's the point of doing any kind of advanced early time frame stuff for patrons? If they're just going to do it anyway, if they're going to just share it anyway, like that illegally, there's nothing I could do about it. Alright, so I never did anything like that, at all. Fast forward to this week. This week, Twitch launched private streams just for subs. Alright, and what they did is they made it that you can stream exclusively only to your subscribers, your moderators, and people who you deem VIPs. So basically, it's private streaming. First time ever you've been able to do that. Instead of just doing a public stream, you could have it only go to certain people. Alright, interesting, right? But, here's the problem. We already have people who illegally restream my shit.
You know, there's a sick motherfucker on the internet called Tevin who likes to illegally restream my fucking streams and has an army of fucking trolls who are the only reason why he has any notoriety is because he copies my shit, and he eggs his trolls on to do negative shit like this, to come to my stream and to basically make fun of my girlfriend and do nasty shit. And anyone who supports that kind of fucking content is a mentally ill asshole who has no fucking conscience or morals. And the bottom line is the only reason he does it is because he knows he can get away with it, because YouTube won't shut down his streams, even though what he does is completely illegal. They don't care. YouTube does not give a shit. So he runs away. He can't do it on Twitch anymore. He's banned from Twitch from doing it. So now he has to go other places where basically it's like the Wild West, and they won't listen and they won't shut down stuff that's illegal or bullying or you know, that kind of stuff.
Right? On a daily basis. They make a living doing this. This is how they get their notoriety on the internet, by illegally stealing my content live, restreaming it, and doing commentary over it. It's completely 100% fucking illegal to do that without permission and without paying a licensing fee. You cannot do that, alright? However, YouTube doesn't care. YouTube does not give a shit about that. Twitch does.
And the answer is this. They're a very preferential website. Twitch TV looks for streamers who are going to constantly be begging for money, okay? I need subs, send me donations and subs, so you'll do a ton of subs on Twitch, and Twitch makes a ton of money off your channel. Then they don't bother you anymore, okay? But I was never like that. I was the kind of person that I would ask for subs in the pre-streams, and if I got them, I got them. If I didn't, I didn't constantly interrupt my content to beg for subs.
YouTube doesn't. So on Twitch, if you try to illegally restream another streamer and do commentary without their permission, Twitch will ban you from the site. They say, we're not putting up with that shit. This is completely against our terms of service. You know, it's breaking the law. We don't allow people to break the law on our site. Therefore, get the fuck out. Okay? YouTube literally doesn't care. Alright? They just don't care at all. So if I were to do a private stream for just subs and moderators or whoever, even though I have no idea what that stream would be, I haven't even really put thought into it yet. Because the bottom line is, even if I decided to do it, alright, someone undoubtedly would subscribe to the channel just to get access to said stream, and then they would illegally restream it on YouTube. They couldn't do it here on Twitch. They would get banned. They would have to go and they would do it on YouTube. So you'd have one of my subs, no way to know who's doing it, giving access, you know, to that content to an illegal restreamer who would just stream it on YouTube. And there's no way to take it down. People have, you know, I know people have tried. They've told me, Phil, I've tried flagging, I've tried doing that, and YouTube just doesn't care. They ignore it. I don't know if it's because YouTube is a competitor to Twitch and they don't care if you're stealing content from Twitch, even though it's against the law. I don't know if YouTube just doesn't care in general. Maybe you could just do it in general. You do illegal shit on YouTube constantly and they just don't give a fuck. But there's basically no way for me to stop someone who is illegally restreaming me, because YouTube does not care. They have no morality to them, and unless I threaten them with a lawsuit, which I'm not going to do because I don't have money to do it, they're not going to stop anyone from doing it. Alright? So, the bottom line is,
it's Tevin's fault.
Sadly, if I were to try to do a private stream, people would just go right ahead and restream it illegally, and there's no point. So, I really have no plans on doing private stream. Not to say, by the way, that I had any plans on doing it anyway. Like I said, I haven't even really given it a bit of thought. I mentioned it the other day when it became a new thing on Twitch that it existed, but I hadn't really given it any kind of thought of what I could do with it or anything. But all that's gonna do is just propagate more people to do illegal actions against me and fuck me over. Who's gonna subscribe to the channel to see a sub-only stream when you can just go watch it illegally anyway, right? It's pretty messed up. But that's just the truth of the matter. That is it, guys, and that's your answer. It's not gonna happen because there's nothing I can do about it. Alright?
I just got back from McDonald's. McDonald's has now accepted my job application.
Arcade USA did a 300-bit cheer. He said something that's very sad. I honestly don't believe this. Let me get Arcade USA up on the leaderboard, first of all. Actually, if you remember correctly, he's pronounced his name Aircade USA. I apologize because I forgot about that. So here's what he says. I'm going to read it, alright? And, I'm going to read it, and let's go ahead and see what he has to say, and then I will respond. But let's hear what he says at first. He says,
"It's very sad to me. It seems as though your supporters' contributions will never be enough, that you'll likely always need our help. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to people that want to see you succeed. I love begging."
Alright, so I have a few things to say to that. First of all, thank you for the 300-bit cheer, because you're actually the biggest cheerer of the day. Alright, first of all, every streamer relies on contributions. So essentially what you're saying, oh, you'll always rely on your viewers. You're right, every streamer does. Everyone who's a full-time streamer will always rely on their viewers. That's their main source of income. So essentially what you're saying here, you're absolutely correct. I don't think that's a negative thing. I've said this a million times. I believe that crowdfunding is the future, okay? That the model of being successful on YouTube is a model of the past. You know, when ad revenue was sky high on YouTube during those golden years of, say, 2011 through, like, 2014, 2015, and, you know, advertisers were paying through the nose the amount of money that they were paying for advertisements because they thought that YouTube was an effective advertisement medium, and people were making tons of money just running ads on their videos, yeah, that was amazing. But that was a long time ago. And the fact of the matter is that since then, things have changed. Advertisers realize that YouTube is not an effective ad medium at all. That because of algorithms that automatically divvy out ads, that number one, ads are not effectively being placed on videos that are getting them the exposure they want for their money. And number two, the fact that their ads are going on videos of things that they totally don't support, like racism, terrorism, and stuff like that. Most advertisers have quit YouTube, all right? So even though back in the day, it was very nice to say, oh, I don't rely on anything from you guys besides your viewership.
Fuck you. You're a liar.
So, you know, anything that you can give back is much appreciated. I also do have the PayPal donation on the left-hand side of my Dark Side Phil channel. It explains how to go to PayPal and what, email address to send a donation to, darksidephil@hotmail.com.
I've gotten many donations, and as I said before, if you send me a donation of, you know, $10, $15, $20 or more, I'll mention your name in a video because I do appreciate that. So, thanks a lot.
You know, I can't do that anymore. It's not about views anymore. It's about people actually stepping up and crowdfunding. That's the truth of the matter. And, you know, most people now who are successful as internet content creators, that's very much become the case. If you haven't noticed, people adopting things like Patreon, people selling merchandise, etc., etc. Okay?
So just as a very objective observation of your statement, I don't think it's sad that you say that I rely on supporter contributions, because everyone does. Everyone who makes content on the internet is besides the ginormous YouTubers bringing in millions and millions of views a month, everyone else is reliant on supporter contributions.
So I don't think that's a sad thing. However, I understand what you're saying.
It seems like every month, you know, people step up and support me, and they get me through another month, and then the next month, here we go again. I E-beg, right? You're constantly asking your viewers and your fans for contribution. You know, oh, is it E-beggar?
You're right. But essentially, Arcade USA, there's, as I said, there's two things that I would like to happen, and I hope they do. The first is, over the course of this summer, there's a lot more games coming out than usual. I'm hoping people will start checking out my streams on the regular, and we'll get some more support. In fact, last year, this is exactly what happened.
I can't wait for the money. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I'm so just enveloped in greed and money. I need money. I need money.
The summertime was a great time for me last year. I'm hoping that's going to happen again this year. So far, the trend is a positive trend upward. It is. It's been a good trend. This June was a much better month on streams than it was in April or May, just being very honest. So things are looking good in that regard. Okay, that's number one. Number two, what I'm hoping for here is that within the next several years, I can get out of certain debts and financial obligations that are weighing me down right now. In fact, I could definitely tell you if I can survive 2 years from today, there's a few things that are going to not be financially obligated to me anymore. A few, like, loans and stuff that right now are really nagging me down with payments every year, or every month, excuse me. Those are going to go away. So that's a good thing. In addition, as I've explained, my long-term plan is that hopefully and eventually, all right, I can get out of certain financial obligations and or pay down certain financial obligations enough that I have some financial leeway. Once I do that, then what I can do is start to transition out of being a full-time streamer and maybe have a little bit more of a life to myself. Maybe I'll get a job offline outside of being a streamer.
McDonald's.
And balance that with being a streamer, which I would be totally okay with. And that's kind of what I want to do in the long term. I just can't do it right now because right now I'm solely reliant on making enough money on streams to pay my bills. And if I don't stream full-time, I can't do that. If I were to quit streaming right now to get another job, I wouldn't make enough money to pay my bills, and it would be counterproductive. Okay? Just saying. So, right now, being here as long as I can every day is the right thing to do. If I can last a few years and get down these debts, and then maybe I can see to improve my position, that's a good thing. But I have to get there, and that's the thing. People tend to think, especially when it comes to content creation, and I'll be honest, the age range of the people who watch my content, they tend to think that everything's a quick solution. Everything's an instant change, a quick solution that can fix them. That's not the case at all. For 3 months now, I've been working behind the scenes to try to get a certain thing out of here.
Looks like that might be my wife in there, but I don't care. I don't really care about her. I don't care about my ugly wife. My wife left me.
a certain obligation so that things could be slightly better. I'm still working on that. These things take a million years to do. That's the truth. You see what I mean? Like, it's just a pain in the ass. And there's not much you can do about it. It's just something that's matter of fact. I have to, it's a thing that takes time.
So I have to basically stay where I am, work my butt off, make entertaining streams for you guys, rely on your crowdfunding support to keep stuff going in the short term, maybe a few years even, until I can maybe look to improve my financial situation, but we're not there yet. Oh my God!
What the fuck? Whoa! Whoa! Stay on his ass, Cole. Don't lose him.
What in the fuck was that, dude? Holy fucking titty twisting, what the?
Damage one.
Even though I understand your frustration, Arcade, you know what I mean? That every single month, I have to bring up, man, it sucks. We're at the 2 weeks that are tight financially. I know, but that's just reality. That's just life. That's my life, and I have to live it that way.
And I love it. I love doing this for a living.
There's nothing I can do about it. That's the situation I'm in. Hopefully, long-term things will get better, all right? So I hear you. You're absolutely right. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to the viewers. Everyone wants... I wish there was a magical solution, you know? I do. I wish there was a magical solution to the problem. Maybe if I win the fucking lotto, you know? There's just, you know, how crazy can we be here? There is no magical overnight solution to this kind of stuff, you know? So, it is what it is. I'm incredibly grateful for any support that I get, and we're just going to keep pushing forward positively. That's the best you can do, right? That's the best you can do. Well, there you go. RP Blurred to the 300-bit cheers. A shout out to all the frogs. We get money. We're getting money. If you it, say ribbit. What? What is that? What? Alright, anyway. That's enough of that. That's seriously enough of that. Alright, and Cal talking completely out of their ass. He says, oh, but when contributions are low, you switch games. I've never done that ever. When have I ever, in the middle of a stream, said, well, contributions are low, let's switch games. And now you're permanently banned. Sorry, sucker. Sorry, sucker!
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic. Unleash the beast. Toxic. Oh.
So sucks to be dollars to forget your wedding ring again, Phil? No. No. Idiot. Anyway, thanks for the dollar tip, stupid.
He almost got me toxic. He almost got me toxic. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a scammer. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis. Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God I wish I fucking was.